Hey y'all, this is AL Thick Madame. Look, y'all, it's summertime and I like to be comfortable while I sleep. So, I'm trying to be respectful and dress how I need to dress while I'm on here, but still being comfortable all at the same time. So I have a bra on and all of that. So I don't want y'all to think I'm naked when I'm not. I'm just big, just humongous. Let's focus on the recap review. Okay, y'all. So y'all see the title. Let's get into it. Okay, so it starts off and we are, being shown that AJ is okay. He's stable and, he's been admitted into the hospital. Grace and her daughter, Sophia, are the only people who are left at the hospital. Everybody else went home or whatever, went wherever they was going to go. Cool. And, nobody can see him because he's sedated. Y'all, Noah's going to be flying into town and all this other stuff, right? Cool. Jacob is still going through the storage unit trying to find the will that supersedes the one that he has in his possession. There's a lot of stuff in there, and when I tell y'all that thing was basically filled to the brim, it's like, sir, why you thought you was going to be able to go through all that and find anything? But upon leaving, he was just, he kind of felt defeated, and he went ahead and took a tackle box and a fishing pole. And I was just like, I ain't never seen you fish before, but okay. Y'all, May is still not eating. I thought that after everything happened where, the bishop asked her to marry him and all this other stuff and everybody gathered around, I thought they went down and got married, but maybe they did go to City Hall or somewhere and got married and they're just going to make it official again. I don't know, but he over here asking her to marry him again. And, she's delirious and not eating and just starving. And she was like, man, whatever. Yeah, we can get married again. And he was like, you got to pick a date. You got to pick a date. Like, he is like super excited. And she was like, okay, flag day. And, you could tell she just threw a date out there. Basically just to shut him up. And I'm like, girl, why you do the bishop like that? Like, he is like super duper excited that they are on like one accord now, because y'all know it had gotten very nasty last season. It really did. And I was like, oh Lord, like how y'all expect to live under the same roof? Whew, ooh, child, y'all. So anyway, Grace ends up coming in and, she knows the plan of how, her mama want to start over and just have their own church from scratch. So she was like, well, I'm not using the place that Mavis gave me. Mavis is Oprah Winfrey's character. And of course, that is May's sister. And she had a club, juke joint, whatever you want to call it, bar, all one and the same, so to speak, a little bit, and she was like, well, it's just been sitting there for like over a year. I'm not using it, and if you want to use it, do what you want. And if not, I'll just do away with it. You can go down there, check it out, see what you want to do. And, they said they was going to do that. Okay, cool. Y'all, Darius called Grace and, he's unaware of what's going on. And he can tell that there's some kind of distress going on in her voice. And so she does give him the rundown about how she's feeling and what's going on. And he was just like, wow, do you need me to come over? Like, he's being very attentive and being really sweet or whatever. And you could tell that he still likes her. And, the feelings are still there. But he did initially call because he wanted to talk to her and ask her if she knew about this pastor that worked for Harmony and Hope. And I think his name is Cal. And it was this white pastor that was a part of, I forgot what they say when it's like a collective of them or whatever. I can't remember. But anyway, he is one of the pastors. And, he's been reaching out to him and he won't return the phone calls. And so she's looking at him, looking at the phone like, well, I am going through what I'm going through, but, I do need something to kind of take my mind off things, and I'm not going to be able to see him until later on. So I'm going to need for you to come pick me up, because basically she is in no state to drive. So he does come and pick her up. They go to that man's house. They knock on the door. He can't even peek out the window. And I was like, bruh, they saw you peek out the window, so like, am I wrong? Did he come peek out the window and then act as if he didn't peek out the window, and then they knocked again? He peeked out the window again, like he didn't just see them, and then he opened the door. But anyway, y'all, so Grace kind of, introduces herself and was like, hey, because, they were very, very, comfy with one another at one point in time. Like, she never had any issues with him. And she felt confident enough in her, vocational skills and all the other stuff, and just, the rapport that she had built with him, that she would be able to talk to him and that she would be able to get whatever information out of him that Darius, who is, of course, Rick Fox's character, needed to get out of him. So she was like, well, I just want to know what's going on. And, he's wanted an interview with you, and, you haven't returned any phone calls. So he was like, look, Bob has advised us not to speak to the press. And so they look like, what you mean us? Bob just told every single last pastor on the roster, on the payroll, and everything else in between, do not talk to the press. Apparently, if you talk to the press, you might as well just realize that, you ain't gonna have no job, or you just won't be able to work anywhere in life after that, because Harmony and Hope seems to be like the be all end all. And yeah, Bob Whitmore, he has a lot of pull. So everybody has been advised not to speak. And he just was like, look, I can't speak. That's all you need to know. Don't come around here no more. Bye. And went on by his business. So they really are trying to figure out like what's going on. And they're like, and Darius is just like, there is a story there. Like something's going on. Grace was like saying the same thing. Like something has got to be going on for Bob to be telling everybody that they can't speak. Like, what you mean? Why can't they speak? It's like, what? That's crazy. Y'all, anyway. Like, what you mean they gotta keep quiet when the press is around? That is crazy. So anyway, y'all, the divorce proceedings are gonna be underway soon enough. This seems to be the first meeting that they've had, and of course they are sharing a lawyer. Carissa has taken it upon herself to say that she wants primary custody of their youngest child, because y'all already know Zora is old enough to just be like, I'm grown and y'all can't try to have custody of me. The other child, I think that child is under 10 years old, that they call Winky, but he's, I think Jacob Jr. or whatever. And at first he was just like, I want shared custody. And the lawyer was like, I thought y'all, already hashed everything out and that this would be, smooth sailing. Man, Jacob was just tired of his spirit and was just like, you know what, just never mind. I ain't got time for this. Like, that was his whole demeanor. Like, he didn't even have to say that. He was just like, you know what? Nah, he went on ahead and signed the paperwork. I was like, dang, he ain't even gonna put up a fight, because he already knows she's doing the most. Like, because she's gonna be difficult. So I guess he feels like, man, I just want to go ahead and get this over with. Like, that's how tired of her he is. Like, Carissa, I have never been able to put my finger on it. But ever since the first season, I have just not been here for her. And like all this stuff that has gone on now, it's just like reaffirming the reason why I probably should have never, tried to give her any kind of benefit of the doubt. And I mean, yeah, this is like her first real indiscretion with cheating like that. There have been other people who have pursued her and all that, but she done did the most this time. Girl, I cannot. But yeah, she doing the most and ain't nobody got time. So anyway, Zora and Sophia are still tiptoeing around each other, ain't really speaking to one another. And Sophia's like, look, I want to know if you still have a copy of the music that you gave me when I was in the hospital. I think when she was going through everything that happened to her, when she had gotten raped and all that other stuff. And, she basically made it known that when she was at her maddest, she ended up deleting it. And she just wanted another copy of it, if she still had a copy of that playlist, that she wanted to, basically transfer it or download it again so that she could have it and take it to her brother. And so she was like, yeah, I might have it on the computer or the laptop or whatever. And just know that the H&M shirt or whatever shirt she said that she had, she said the shirt that she gave her, she donated to Goodwill. So there's that. So, she was like, are you still talking to old boy? So she was like, yeah, things are going how they're going. And I've been calling him and texting him, trying to figure out what moves he's making. And I'm just like, girl. It's literally been 2 or 3 days since he, basically took her virginity. And he now is possibly going to be back with the ex. And it's like, girl, the thirst is real. And I it's like, I kind of can't blame her. But at the same time, it's like, girl, no, stop. It's like, I wish I could just shake her and be like, girl, you doing the most. And like, you really out here looking like the groupies that would do things like this when they are facing adversity, so to speak, when you can't get your way with a baller. Y'all, but anyway, I'm tired. So Phil, Charity, and the wife-to-be, Judy, are in this room discussing things. And, initially it was just Phil and Charity, and they're talking. And, they're trying to figure out how they're going to set up things in the gymnasium as far as the choir is concerned. And that's when Judy came in, and they literally had like a blueprint out and all this other stuff. Like, they had plans out, just out there. And of course, Judy had to do the most. She kept coming in, like really putting it on thick. Like, she is just so here for Phil. And I mean, she kind of is, but like, she really was overdoing it because she already knows the relationship that he had with Charity. I mean, kept on kissing him and doing the most. Like, I'm just saying, y'all, I think I mentioned this briefly before, but I have an aunt who had a whole husband. My uncle is now deceased, but had a whole husband. And she was at another church fighting over a whole nother man and brought a chain and was hitting the woman with the chain, like beating the woman in the face and smoke with the chain. I was just like, ma'am, like, I don't fool with like y'all, it's a lot. And people wonder why I don't fool with like most of my relatives. Like, that's not me. But it's just the stuff that they do. And it's like, you got a whole husband at the house. Like, yeah. Charity give me them kind of vibes. Like, she would do something like that. And Judy, she would halfway do something like that too. But anyway, y'all, I'm sorry. I know it's trifling, but okay. But yeah, Judy kept doing the most. She kept on kissing him and just really being overly affectionate and just like doing the most, like just trying to really let you know, like, yeah, that's my man, and it's not yours. He's not yours anymore. I took him from you. And this heifer had the audacity to try to, make it seem like, well, he's only with you because your father told him to be, because he still loves me. And I was like, yeah, that might be true, but do you have him though? Like, you're alone like you always are. Like, everybody is always winning but you in the relationship department. Like, I cannot. I'm tired. Like, come on, girl. And old girl basically read her with a scripture, but was basically like, it is what it is, but, I'm going to ignore you. This is my man. I'm going to kiss him some more and, be jealous. So she ended up walking out the room, and she called herself trying to read Phil. And I was like, girl, you could have kept that read to yourself, like whatever. Y'all, the bishop ended up calling, trying to talk to Mavis. I forgot what Mavis went, but she got a really amazing offer last season, if I'm not mistaken, to go somewhere. And I think she overseas somewhere. France or somewhere. I don't remember, y'all. Y'all let me know down in the comment section, because y'all know I be forgetting stuff, or it completely goes over my head. But I think she's overseas somewhere. But she is somewhere, and the bishop called because he wanted to get her blessing to kind of like do a little demolition type situation at the club, even though she doesn't want anything really to do with it anymore. Because at one point in time, Memphis actually wanted to deem that place as a museum because so much historical stuff has happened there. Like, there's a lot of stuff that actually could be placed in a historical museum from that place, if nothing else. But the fact that they actually have thought about making it into a museum, that's a big deal. So when May and the bishop actually went to go and view the place, the bishop was like here for everything that he saw in there, and she wasn't here for nothing. She wanted everything gutted and whatever, y'all. It's just a lot. So yeah. He wasn't able to get her on the phone. The person who answered the phone, you could tell she was speaking another language, but she could fully understand when he actually said, Mavis McCready. And he was just like, just tell her it's James. And so I thought she was eventually gonna come to the phone, but then like some other music started playing, so it just got to the point where he just hung up. He just sat there, y'all. So May had gone to go to visit Faith's grave, and Grace was sitting on the steps in front of the house. So they greeted each other, and she was like, well, I just came back from your sister's grave. And Grace is in her feelings because her son does not want to see her, nor does she want to see his father, who is Noah. And she in her feelings, and so she was like, look, you know what I'm saying? She actually sat up there and apologized to her. Basically, you could tell that she was apologizing for the things that she's done to her. You know what I'm saying? All while kind of trying to support her and let her know, like, I understand how you feel. I don't have one of my children anymore. Your child, had a near-death experience, and he was almost taken away from you because of your sister and all this other stuff, and you almost lost him just the other day. So, it seems like they keep having moments where they're kind of trying to really put things in the past, and I'm glad about that. But what is not going to be put in the past anytime soon, as far as I'm concerned, is May and Grace's disdain for Charity, because Charity sold out the family to the point of where AJ was about to get arrested, which, in all honesty, he deserved it because he did all that stuff. So, it is what it is, but whatever. And, they don't have the church anymore. So she ends up rolling up while they were having a little moment. And so Grace was just like, yeah, mama, bye. And so she tried to stop her mama and was like, hey, she basically stopped both of them, was like, what can I do? And so they're looking like, what you talking about? She was like, what can I do to like basically make things right so that y'all will talk to me so that we can be on decent terms? And Grace ain't trying to hear nothing. And she looking at her like, girl, I ain't got nothing for you. Like, goodbye. And we're in the house. Lord, her mama went off on her. And, she was like, your sister, she almost lost her son. I just came from seeing your sister in the grave. Like, literally went to her gravesite. And so, like, she gonna tell her stories about how, oh, well, I'm gonna have to move or something because don't nobody like me here. I go to work, don't nobody like me. I don't know what to do. This don't make no sense. I just want my family back. And it's like, girl, her mama had to read her, and she said, you don't know what real problems are because, yeah, everybody actually has real problems going on, and you basically just have man problems, and you mad. Everybody has real life going on, and you over here mad because of issues that you have stirred up and created. So, oh well, whatever, heifer. Anyway, Zora figured out that her parents were getting a divorce, and they'd actually come back from their, litigation or whatever you want to say it was, their meeting, as they kept calling it. And so she was like, how was the meeting? And then, they always keep wanting to be vague or not saying nothing. So, she, went back into her normal disrespectful mode. She was like, what the H is going on here? Y'all know she cusses. I try not to cuss. I say heifer and stuff like that, but whatever. And so she was like, oh, y'all getting a divorce. And, they literally were like muting. So she was like, yeah, thanks for telling me. And, went on by her business. And, she was like, oh, well, it's your fault again. Cheating again, huh? I was like, oh my gosh. Her mama didn't say nothing. And so when she left out of the room, he kind of got on to her and was like, really? You gonna sit up there and try to make her think that it's my fault, the reason why we're getting divorced? Because usually he was over here cheating day in and day out. And this was the one time he wasn't cheating. So her mom was just looking like, shoot, you might as well go ahead and go with that narrative, because every time we look around, you was cheating. So it just is what it is. Let her believe that, and let's go on about our business. So he was like, well, do I need to go in there and tell her what the real truth is? Well, of course, she had to sit up there and try to wave that raggedy will situation in his face and was like, well, yeah, you can do that if you want to, but let's just remember, I can go down to the police station with the quickness and show them that will, and then your family can be. I was just like, girl, please stop with this will. Somebody please find the one that supersedes this, because I'm tired of my spirit. Y'all, anyway, Charity's so deep in her feelings that despite her sister walking off from her and not wanting anything to do with her, she'd have rolled up in this woman's room. She was in the middle of talking to her own child. And, you know, they were having a heart-to-heart, so to speak, or whatever, or at least the moment. And she was like, yeah, I just came from, you know, seeing Zora. So she was like, oh, y'all, you know, back friends again. She was like, you know, it's a case-by-case basis or whatever. But, you know, I wanted to get a playlist from her, and that's it. So Charity came in, was like, can I talk to you for a minute? Lord, she ain't trying to hear nothing she talking about. Lord, tell me why this heifer went and got a poem that she supposedly wrote for the baby that didn't make it. Because y'all know she was pregnant with twins. She was pregnant with a twin boy and a twin girl. The twin girl didn't make it. So she ended up reading the letter. And so Grace was like, okay, why are you giving this to me now? So she tries to go on and explain to her, I do. See, this is really just explaining to you that I really do know how it feels. I've lost a child. I know exactly how you feel. Man, Grace read her and was like, see, this is what I'm talking about. This is why I don't fool with you. You are taking my son's suicide attempt, turning it around to make everything about you. Like, Grace went off. I was like, oh my gosh, no. She was like, you just took this opportunity to make this all about you. And so Charity gonna get mad and was like, see, okay, you and mom deserve each other. I was just like, girl, why you mad? So anyway, y'all, the bishop has told May that he's gonna go ahead and bring some people in to do some work on the club and gut it, because she already told him off rip, you know, I'm not feeling it. If you don't gut it then and start from scratch, then I don't want nothing to do with it. And so, you know, he is really living for May. Like, anything she want to do, he's just like, shoot, whatever she want to do, I'm down for it, because I want to be with her. And I know that this is my destiny. So he said he called some people and they gonna come and start gutting it out. Y'all, he randomly asked her again about them getting married. So I was like, what's going on right here? Y'all, she was like, what is you talking about? We just had this conversation earlier. Y'all, he losing his mind. He losing his memory. Like, it's Alzheimer's setting in. Like, is, what's the other one? One of them things is setting in. Something ain't right. But he actually did remember eventually the date and everything. He was like, no, I remember. And at first I thought he wasn't going to remember nothing. He was just saying that to kind of cover for the fact that he didn't remember and was hoping that she was just going to say it. And then he was like, see, yeah, I remember. I know what you ain't have to tell me. But he really did actually remember. But I was like, okay, I think this is like the onset or something. Ain't nobody got time. What's going on here? Like the shakes that already came out. This might be it. He might have Alzheimer's or something. I don't know. He might be losing his memory slowly, y'all, and I'm tired. May look like she was kind of concerned for a second, but then I guess once he remembered the date, then she was like, oh, okay. But anyway, y'all, May actually finally started eating. She literally was sitting up there chowing down on week-old pasta. And Marisol was like, ma'am, let me fix something, you know, fresh for you. That's a week old. And she was just like, girl, this is mine. I don't care what you do. You can fix something fresh if you want to, but I'm eating this. Just know that. And like, she was getting her entire life. Y'all, Jacob is trying to show Winky how to fish. And he's going and looking for some lure, trying to see if he can find something because the fish aren't biting. And he looks and he sees this like, this envelope type situation. It's one of those ones where you gotta like loop it around and unloop it or whatever. Like you really gotta kind of, not really do the most, but yeah, it's one of those ones where you gotta wind it around this thing and unwind it when you wanna, you know, open it and close it securely. So he unloops the thing and lo and behold, that is the wheel that supersedes the other one, y'all. Daryl James, if I'm not mistaken, is Basie Skanks' daddy. I think that's his daddy. I think. But anyway, Sophia is dumb. The thirst is real, and this heifer is really dumb. For her to be so smart, she dumb. Her cousin rolled up on her and was like, did you send lewd pictures of yourself to whatever the basketball player's name is? So she was like, maybe it's my business if I did. So she was like, no, it's not your business. And she showed her cell phone where apparently everybody and their mama had seen the picture of her in her chest area. And I'm like, first of all, second of all, and third of all, you ain't even got no chest. So why is you sending that to anybody? And I mean, I'm not trying to I'm just saying, like, you're doing the most. You're doing the most. Lord. So, y'all, Cal, the pastor, y'all, he randomly calls Grace, and Grace was like, hello, what's going on here? Y'all, he was like, look, this is Cal. I'm calling you. I wanted to talk to you for a minute about something, but this is off the record. I'm talking to you. This is going to be the end of the conversation after this. That's it. So he goes on to tell her that off the record, these are the words you need to remember. Put this in your memory bank. Eden Vale Lending. It is connected to Bob Whitmore. That's all you need to know. Tell that reporter to never contact me again. That's all you need to know. And so she's trying to understand, like, why is he saying that? What does that mean? And he was just like, look, that's all you need to know. All you need to know is Eden Vale Lending. So hung up the phone. So she's looking like, what is that all about? Y'all, the bishop is going down memory lane, and he ends up playing this record of a song that, you know, we've sang a different variation of it at my church, but it's called Lay My Burdens Down. They actually, if you Shazam it, you actually can see the person's name and all that. I don't know if it's Furry Lewis or Fury Lewis. I think it's Furry Lewis, Furry. But anyway, but yeah, it was nice. It was a nice little record. Y'all, Grace tried to see AJ, and I don't know if she was able to see him or not. I'm guessing that she, you know, went to try to see him again and was unsuccessful. Then the last scene, y'all, they showed Jacob showing up on Tasha Skanks' doorstep. And so she's like, Jacob, what are you doing here? And he was like, look, I need to see Basie. And she was like, Jacob, Basie's dead. And I was like, oh, Lord have mercy. No, whoa. So Jacob is just like, no. Y'all, that was the end of the episode. It was really good to me. I thoroughly enjoyed it. It was really, really good. Y'all see I'm up. I'm up late again. Looking crazy. But anyway, I'm about to go my behind the bed. Hopefully this will be up before 7 a.m. because I don't know what's going to happen between now and then, but, you know, trying to get it up before I go to work. Anyway, I hope y'all have a good one, and I'll see y'all later on for something else.